Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a brow tutorial, so if you want to see how I fill my brows in, keep on watching. Alright guys, so my brow pencil of choice is the Covergirl Ultrafine Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown. I'm going to brush my hairs upward before I begin, and brushing the hairs upward helps to create a really fluffy and full brow, but it also really allows you to see the areas that needs to be filled in. Now I'm first going to just draw a line at the base of my brow, just creating the long shape or the shape that I am interested in for my brow. I'm going to brush the hairs upward again just so that, I can really see the shape, and then I'm just going to sketch a line at the top of my brow as well, and then connect it at the tip of the tail. Now, like I said, this serves as a guide, and it really allows me to not only see the shape that I am creating, but it allows me to really see where I'm going to need to fill my brows in at. So you're definitely going to see me brush my hairs upward a few times throughout this video, just because it really helps to keep the hairs in place, but also soften any strokes that you apply when filling your brows in. So now I'm going to begin filling my brows in, and I do start at the front, and I do add a few hair-like strokes where some of the hairs in the front of my brow are missing. No judgment, of course. And then as I get to, the mid-brow to the tail, I begin filling that in a little heavier, because that's where we want our brows to be the heaviest. Always keep in mind that you do want to apply light hair-like strokes. You don't want to apply too much pressure when using anything to fill your brows in, because you don't want them to be super dark. I feel like brows should always try to look as hair-like and as realistic as possible. Anything extra, I feel like it borderline looks cartoonish a bit. So I'm just gonna, like I said, continue with light hair-like strokes and just fill my brows in appropriately where I find them to be really sparse or really needing some extra love. So I like to check my brows a few times throughout the process, just so you guys can see the transformation as I'm doing it, but also to make sure they're being filled in properly. And like I said, you are going to see me brush my hairs upward a few times throughout this video. So anytime I am filling my brows in, I do like to brush them upwards, because any of those strokes that I've applied, if they are too heavy, brushing it through with the spoolie helps to just soften those lines and to really make the brows look as natural as possible. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps on the left brow. First, starting off with that line underneath, I'm going to brush the hairs upward, and then I'll begin creating that line on top, and then I'll begin filling the brow in appropriately. I always suggest taking your time when filling your brows in, because you want them to be as alike as possible. Please keep in mind though that your brows are sisters, they're not twins, so if they do not look 100% alike, it's perfectly fine, but as long as you can get them to match, that's what you're going for. Now, one thing that has definitely helped me with that is that I see a brow specialist here in New York City instead of visiting just your traditional waxing or like threading salon. I find that seeing a specialist, she really helped to shape my brows for my face. Prior to seeing my specialist, my brows didn't really fit or didn't really match. One was like nicely arched and the other one was just flat as fuck. So seeing her has really just changed my brow shape altogether, and it really makes filling them in so much easier. One thing I also wanted to add is that it's perfectly fine if you do make any mistakes when filling your brows in, especially underneath. You can always clean them up with a bit of concealer, which is something that we are going to do. Now for brow gel, I am going to use the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara in Clear. I find that it's a really affordable option, and it does work. I'm just going to brush it through my brows upward to hold them into place all day. Now to conceal my brows, I am going to use a little bit of my Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer and an angle brush, and I'm just going to start midway to the tail of my brow, and I'm just going to fill that in appropriately. Conceal and blend that out appropriately. Then sometimes what I like to do, whatever is left on that blending brush, I'm just going to move it to the front of my brow a bit, just to really clean things up and make it as sharp as possible. But it's very important that you take your time when blending out the concealer, because you do not want your brows to look like they are floating. I repeat, blend out your brow concealer, because floating brows are not it. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this brow tutorial. I really hope that you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.